In this video, I share with you how I manifested a specific person by accident. It's a very strange story. With my story, I'm going to prove to you that you do and that you can have an effect on reality. Okay? So you have to listen all the way to the end of the story for all of the reveals. Namaste, goddesses. I am so glad you're here. It's Yogini Viv, coach and mentor to women who want to thrive up to and past 45. The world needs us now, goddess, and it is my mission to help women like yourself sharing your dreams, sharing your skills, your vision, and your gift with the world. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you about stories of manifesting and how I've manifested, again, to inspire you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. You are obviously interested in manifestation. What makes it manifestation is that it happens in sort of magical ways, or ways that aren't just step by step by step. Because of course, then that's just goal setting, which is also very important, right? But when you get into manifestation, it's like, there's a beautiful quote I like where it's like, providence moves too. Once you make a decision, and that's what I want to urge you, once you make a decision, it's like they're saying in physics now that the viewer affects what's viewed. So once you make a decision of what you want to manifest, right, of what story you want to create, other things shift because you've given a focal point basically to the universe. You've given a focus to this energy that is there. Oh my gosh, this one is really wild, you guys. This was about a relationship. It also ties in with me wanting to go on a vacation. Okay, let's see. How do I start? It's very long, but it's a really cool story. I was in a nutrition program. This was many years ago. I always have friends from all different backgrounds. That's just who I am. I like knowing people from all different ethnicities, different parts of the world. It just makes it interesting to me to find out about their life. And then, of course, we have commonalities, right? One of my friends in this program was a woman who was Orthodox Jew. She was Orthodox, okay? So that's important to how bizarre the story is. She, on her own, decided that she knew someone who she thought, she was like matchmaking. And I said to her, oh, no. She goes, oh, no. In our community, we do this. We matchmake. And I was like, really? She goes, oh, yes. We bring people together. That's just part of my culture. I said, okay. It's like, who is she going to know? She calls me one night and says, I have someone. She basically knew someone who was religious and she felt would be a good match for me. Now, she told me more about the guy and I was like, oh, you're so sweet, but believe me, someone like that isn't going to like me. She sort of explained a bit about what his background was and how she understood it. And I said, well, actually, I'm like this, and typically those two types won't get together. What she said about him, I said he won't feel that I'm a good match for him. And I explained that to her, and she goes, okay. She goes, I don't know much about him. Let me call a friend. This is weird. This is like 10:30 at night already. She goes, I'm going to call a friend. I was like, no. You don't have to call a friend. She goes, no, she knows him. Let me talk to her and find out more about. And so then she got all three of us on the line. So bizarre. I don't do that. I don't know. This was way before Zoom or anything, you guys. So she gets her friend on the line who now I don't know. The friend does not know me. I don't know. I left out this piece, which gets even weirder. So the Orthodox friend calls a female friend, and that woman agreed. Yes, he's not right for her. She said, I know someone. So I'm inserting this into the video here. So now we're talking to her female friend who then says, I think I know someone who might match her, but I have to call his friend. This is so that's why I switched to he here. So now this is my friend, her female friend. The female friend knows this guy who knows this guy. And now the story continues. He goes, yeah, no, no, Vivian is right. I don't think that he would vibe with her at all. But this is where it gets weird. This person has not met me. He goes, but I know someone. And I'm like, you guys, at this point, I'm like, this woman, I've just met her in this program. I'm like, I've known her maybe a month. I don't know. She's so sweet. But and she's taken on this task. She's going to connect me. I'm like, no, 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 no. He's a fireman. And I'm like, oh, really? That's interesting. I've always really respected firemen because, of course, anyone who's going to go into a burning building to save someone they don't know, I just really respect the bravery and the selflessness, right? So I'm like, oh, and he starts. So the guy now it's like 11:30 because and I'm like, oh my God, this is so weird. He goes, yeah, no, so let's just call him Tom. I need a random name. So he goes, yeah, Tom's a fireman and he's really spiritual. And I think he's kind of more like her. And he's telling me about him. And I'm like, wait. I was like, still no, no, because this particular type of spiritual is just a little far out for me. No, I don't think so. He goes, no, no, no. He's a good looking guy. He works out, yada, yada, yada. A blind date is set up. Blind date is set up. I'm like, oh God, okay, what am I doing? Oh my gosh, I left out an important part of the story, but I'll go to the end. I walk in to like this little restaurant in New York City, a little casual restaurant, and the guy is bald. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. His clean shaven head. From the back, and this turned out to be true, I got a hit of a personality. Like that's what his personality's like. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And I go and meet him. Make a long story short, we did end up dating. He was a fireman. He was a little too far out for me, but there's a couple of really weird things in here that I left out that makes it really magical and really law of attraction. If that like 3 degrees of separation wasn't enough. Earlier, you guys, I don't know if you've heard of a woman called Amma. She's an Indian saint and she's like called the hugging saint. She hugs thousands of people in a day and she like blesses them. So she would come to New York City, especially. She would tour the US and the world. And she has a charity and, helps people in India. I had gone to her like blessing event and hugged her. You wait hours and you go up and she does a blessing, whatever. And the idea is that you can ask her for what you want. So I silently, at that time, had asked her, for a partner. I was like, I want a date. I'd like love in my life. So I did that. She hugged me. She blessed me. I didn't think more of it. It felt really good, whatever. It felt very calm and everything. At that event, you guys, in the front, like I said, you had to wait hours for her to bless you. A bunch of firemen came in uniform, like with the thing on their back. I hope I don't get anybody in trouble. Like with their number, they typically have a number and like their name. They came in and they went right to the front. And they got blessed like really fast. And I remember seeing they had to sit for a little bit. So they sat down and these, firemen are usually like big guys. So I just remember noticing this guy was bald from the back and thinking, oh, that's so interesting. He's spiritual and he's a fireman. That's so cool. Like that he's spiritual and that, he has this type of job where he's really saving lives. That was about a month to 6 weeks before what I just told you. And it was that very fireman, it was that exact fireman that this woman who didn't know that I had wished that, didn't know the fireman, but knew a friend who knew the fireman connected me to him. Tell me that that is not weird. It was so far out. When I realized it was him, because we then talked about it. I said, were you at Amachi's event about 6 weeks ago? And he goes, oh yeah, yeah, I was. That was so wonderful. I'm like, wow. Okay. I was there too. I was in the back. And I saw you, and he's like, you know, I left it at that. I didn't tell the whole story because it would have weirded him out. But that is probably my most interesting and off the charts law of attraction story. Okay, so don't tell me that I don't know about manifestation. So I cut out the other stories because I just wanted to share that one with you, that most magical one. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit here, but we're still talking about manifestation. If you are a woman who wants to focus on prosperity manifestation, then keep listening. I am starting a brand new program for 2021. It's called Money Mindset Magic. And what it is a lot of it, we're going to work with the mindset in the Money Mindset Magic Mastermind. And I'm naming it that because it will be about mastering the mind. The mind is meant to be a servant, not to lead us. I think Einstein said something like that about the mind. The physics is that when you focus, when you make a decision, everything shifts because you've crystallized something and it will come into being. It's by application. I'm not accepting everyone into it. It is for high vibe women who want a supportive group, a supportive mastermind where we are creating and increasing our prosperity. And I will be leading it. So if that sounds right for you, then check it out. The link will be below. Stay blissed and blessed. Namaste. Share your manifestation story or a manifestation that you're having difficulty bringing in. I would love to know. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye.